Alex, I'm looking at a video that you put together here, and it's called "Why Is Nobody Talking About what Robert Williams is Doing for the Celtics?" March 17th, 2022, with the thumbnail "Future Depoy?" Do you think it's fair for Celtics fans to counter the Middleton absence with, I think, Robert Williams played 2 games in this series, and both of which he was pretty limited? What do you think about the absence of Robert Williams, because there's someone who clearly values what he does on the court?
To me, it comes down to what do each of those guys bring to their team respectively. How are the Celtics benefiting from having Robert Williams, and how are the Bucks benefiting from having Khris Middleton? To me, one of the reasons that the Bucks are able to be so successful in a postseason setting is the dynamic between Khris Middleton and Giannis, because Khris Middleton is, he's not this otherworldly shot creator, but he's a pretty effective shot creator for kind of more of a role player, like wing type of player. And the impact that has for Giannis is obviously a player who thrives when you can just put tons and tons of spacing around him. He thrives when he has another guy next to him who demands a lot of defensive attention. And Khris Middleton is a player who demands a lot of defensive attention. And without that, Giannis's game really isn't able to be as effective as it could be if Middleton were in the game. You look at the Giannis and Khris Middleton pick and roll, it's one of the most efficient play types in the entire NBA. I think they were averaging something stupid like 1.5 points per possession when they were running the pick and roll between those two. Like, that's basically a guaranteed
free throw.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So, and then obviously the defense that Khris Middleton provides, as you guys covered, he's not, maybe you used to be able to make the argument that Khris Middleton was a, top wing defender in the NBA, but not anymore. But he's still a pretty good wing defender. He's not going to be locking down the best player on the opposing team, but he is effective enough of a defender that you can get by with him, and he's a significant upgrade from Grayson Allen. And so I look at that, and Robert Williams, this is not me trying to trash Robert Williams, because I made an entire video about him. I freaking love the guy.
Don't you dare.
I'm so high on Robert Williams, but I think in terms of a team's ability to be successful without X player or Y player, I think it's much harder for the Bucks to be successful without Khris Middleton than it was for the Celtics to be successful without Robert Williams. And that speaks more to me about how great the Celtics game plan was as a whole, how deep they were, how tight those rotations were, and the roles that everyone understood that they needed to. I mean, Al Horford was locking guys up at 35 years old. Just absolutely ridiculous stuff. So defensively, yes, Robert Williams, massive upgrade. You obviously get the high post playmaking that he offers, all of the DHO opportunities that you get with him on the floor. But at the same time, I think the Bucks suffered more as a result of not having Khris Middleton than the Celtics did from not having Robert Williams.